This involves corporate America. This involves harassment. This involves retaliation. That's once again corporate America talk. This involves tricking. This involves pay for play. This involves all of that type of stuff, right? When I first saw the headline, I was just like, all right, we'll see. And then as it developed and it got legs and more details coming, I'm like, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. So let's get a little bit of a backdrop for people that's out the loop. Let's go.
More sexual misconduct allegations against high-profile celebrities. This time, Fox Sports and two of its biggest stars are in the hot seat. A former hairstylist has filed a lawsuit accusing Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and others of sexual battery and harassment, even going so far as to say Bayless offered her more than $1 million for sex. We've got our hands on this lawsuit, and we are bringing you the most shocking claims. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, as soon as this hit the headlines, we knew we had to cover it, right? The sexual misconduct allegations that have rocked the sports world. Los Angeles hairstylist Nushin Faraji says that she worked with Fox Sports from 2012 to August of last year, and during that time, she claims she was not only subjected to a hostile.
We can't gloss over that real fast, people. So hairstylists, you think to yourself, all right, Skip Bayless is a powerhouse. Even Joy Taylor at this point, and Acho, these are on-camera personalities for years. They've been moving around. They've gained a lot of recognition, a lot of respect, a lot of clout. Okay, when you hear about a hairstylist, you might want to say, like, what's behind the scenes? All this class action lawsuit, these big powerhouse names, Fox Sports tied to this hairstylist. That's a moot point. That's irrelevant. And pay attention to the years that he just said. She's been working there for about 10 years plus. 10 years plus, okay? That is a dedicated career. That is dedicated to a company that's building up a lot of situations and relationships. That's building up a lot of dependencies. Okay, when people bring about lawsuits like this and they start to question, like, all right, hold on, is my entire career, is my entire name going to be marred behind what's happening here at this particular company? This ain't no flyby. She got there for a week or two. One or two people got attracted to her, and then she ran to the courts for some money. 10 years, people. That's important.
Work environment that included inappropriate comments and touching, but she says she also dealt with retaliation from the company for speaking out. So she has filed both a class action complaint, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, and an individual complaint on multiple grounds, including things like failure to pay minimum wages, unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices, hostile work environment, and sexual battery. Now, in the opening paragraph of her complaint in this lawsuit, it reads, Ms. Faraji brings forth this action because for over a decade at Fox, she was forced to endure a misogynistic, racist, and ableist workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers with impunity. When Ms. Faraji and others came forward to report the wrongdoing, instead of addressing their concerns, Fox retaliated against them while the perpetrators and those who protected them were inexplicably promoted. This case thus represents yet another in a long line of cases chronicling the toxic culture at Fox, marked by bad faith promises and repeated failures to address a poisonous and entrenched patriarchy. Now, you might be saying this and saying, I'm not a sports fan. I have no idea who we're talking about. That's okay. We're going to give you a rundown about who the defendants are in this case and other major players as well. So we want to give you a quick rundown of this. We're going to first dive into what Faraji accuses them of. So Faraji is suing Fox Corporation, Fox Sports 1 and 2, often known as FS1 and FS2, and Fox Sports Production. And as well, she is also suing Charlie Dixon, Skip Bayless, and Joy Taylor. First, we'll start with Charlie Dixon. Charlie Dixon is the executive vice president of content for Fox Sports 1. And by the way, that's apparently Fox's flagship multi-sport national network. And he is responsible for overseeing the content and production for the network and has the authority to make decisions about employees. Skip Bayless.
Hold on. Let's stop there. Let's go one at a time. So there goes your Dixon guy, right? Once again, these are the people that are faceless. These are the people that you never hear about until shit like this happens. That's a big guy. VP over content decisions. If you're over content decisions, you also influence and make decisions based on who comes and who goes as well, who's on certain shows. So behind the scenes, you realize like, okay, you got to get along with this person, or you don't piss this person off. We're not going to act like this isn't corporate America and that's how that goes in offices, right? You're new to a company, and come through the doors and you find out like, oh, that VP right there, like that's in charge of the money making service that we provide. That's the person whose hand you're going to shake. That's the person you're going to make sure you say good morning to. That's the person you don't want to get on their bad side. It's influence, it's power. When we start talking about power and money in situations like this, they are very, very apparent. There's supposed to be rules, guidelines, HR, and company back-ends to prevent and stop some of this type of stuff, to make people remain equal, remain like, let's say comfortable, remain productive, not feel like they're in a hostile environment. But 10 years plus, you're going to see a lot. You're going to bump into a couple people. And even the sexual harassment stuff. Hold on. I want to get there because I have some bitter truth about that. Hold on. We'll get there.
Bayless is a renowned, albeit controversial, sports commentator who's worked in print, radio, television for decades. He's worked as a commentator with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN2's show First Take. This is before he debuted his own show with Shannon Sharpe called Skip and Shannon Undisputed. This was on Fox Sports 1 in 2016. And that, by the way, is where he worked with Nushin Faraji, who was part of the styling team for the network. And by the way, in 2021, the New York Post reported that Bayless had signed a $32 million contract with Fox. It's important when we talk about his wealth a little bit later. All right, now before we go any further, I have to talk to you guys about something. This is huge.
So throwing the $32 million out there, I might as well just get to that one right now, people, okay? Y'all want to get, hold on, before we get to joy. We're going to get to joy in a second. $32 million, okay? People hear that Skip, then fuck it, let's get this topic out the way. Put up 1.5 to the stylist, allegedly offer 1.5 for some ass. Pay for play. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's do it. Money wise, right? If you just want to talk about the topic related to the dollar, it's not a big deal. Hey, I'm here the fuck. Hey, expect this nigga to say that shit. It's not a big deal. You got some very, very rich or wealthy people in the world that sit within that top 1 to 3% tax bracket, right? Well, a lot of people that are millionaires sit in that bracket, right? I forget. But anyway, if you're making a salary of like, let's say 30 plus million, then you got all these little side hustles, side endorsements. It's one thing if I say, here is $30 million. Of that $30 million, that just spans the rest of your lifetime. Do you want to take 1.5 of that and pay for some ass? Like, the answer, hopefully, to most of y'all is no, right? Dion Sardi is in the chat saying 1.5 mil for some bots. Stay with me, right? But if your salary is 30 plus, and then you got YouTube over here, and you got endorsements, and for all I know, every time he brought Mountain Dew up on the screen, that was a check. Like all these bets that him and Shannon was always doing. Y'all know the show, right? You just like. LeBron James makes more money off the court than he does for his Lakers contract, right? So let's say hypothetically he's pulling in 40 million a year, right? That 1.5, if you really, really, really like this woman, is really, you know what I'm saying, is that type of bucket list shit for you, that's not a big deal. Because fellas, y'all might be looking at the picture of Faraji and saying, like, damn, she ain't Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, she's an attractive woman. I don't know where the 1.5 comes from just looking at this video with this picture, but everybody has their preference. Men in the chat now, specifically to y'all, if you had $100 million that you was making yearly, like the money was kept, like if you spend 1.5, it's going to get replaced within a month or within a week, or with some people within a day, or Elon Musk within seconds, right? So now, if I come to you and say, yo, you making all this money, go ahead and put $2 million out, and here goes Beyonce. Go ahead and put $2 million out, and here goes Rihanna. Some of y'all guys would be like, all right, whatever. Because the truth of the matter is, especially when you got it like that, it happens indirectly. We gotta keep the same energy. the way that we attack, like, let's say Skip, and I'm not a defender of Skip. I don't really like Skip as a person, to be honest. Like, I haven't liked him for a while. So this ain't a defender of Skip. This is just me being real and being honest. We got to keep the same energy, especially across cultures. Skip isn't a liked guy, but when we hear all these people that actually talk about the same shit that we like, we don't flip our lids. The first half of Little Baby's career, for example, that's all he rapped about. While he was at his peak, he got lyrics saying, niggas think I'm fucking the game up, I'm paying too much. That was Little Baby. That's all he rapped about in the first half of his career. Paying for bitches, paying for bitches, paying for bitches, making it easy, keeping it simple. How do you think all these Instagram models and some of these influencers or whatever, how they get into where they're getting, and they're getting the Ruby Roses of the world, the ones that's posting up public pictures talking about, I wonder who my baby daddy's gonna be. That's a disgusting post. Or like, or how about the videos that go viral with the girl that called that she's on the phone with the guy. She's like, yeah, I'm on my way to get my nails. And he's like, all right, call me out. And she's like, wait, you're not going to offer? He's like, I'm not even your man. She's like, but I'm giving you a signal. If you can't, you giving me broke energy. If you can't even offer me to get my nails done, like, don't call me no more. Disgusting people are really out there when it comes to, and this is unfortunately an expectation of this era's social media women, that they are trophies, that they are purchasable, that there's a dollar sign on them. And we're seeing a lot of these women, it's getting pushed, it's getting rapped about. It's the Sexy Reds are pushing some of this shit in the world. Glorilla talk about how many niggas she got and whatnot. I mean, we got to call a spade, and we got to keep it fair across cultures and across people that we dislike and like as well. Whether you pay to play directly or indirectly, it's today's society. I don't fuck with it. I don't come from that era. I'm an 80s baby. You know what I'm saying? I come from, like, you got to wow the woman. You know what I mean? Like, but in today's world, that's what it is. And y'all got to keep that same energy for everybody. So if Skip put up 1.5, say the number sounds crazy, but if Skip put up 1.5, you know, because that was his Beyonce, or that was his Rihanna, or that was whatever to him, I ain't judging. Whatever. Do you, Skip? He's like in his 50s or some shit like that. And then some little young thing is up in there. He got it like that. Hey man, hold on to this one. I'm sounding like I'm fucking stunting now, right? But I kind of feel like that's where a lot of people are, and we just don't want to admit it. Now, that's not all Skip did. That's not why Skip is in trouble. Okay.
He was the moderator for Undisputed for a few years, working closely with Bayless and Shannon. Now, she moved to another show called The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Skip is 70? Skip is 70? Oh, yeah. Listen, if Skip is 70 and he's making 30 a year, he got to go put up 1.5 for these. He got to. What? He's 70? Oh, shit. Shout out to Skip, man, taking care of yourself, training and probably eating good, man. You look good for a 70-year-old man. All right? Shout out to Skip and take care. Health is wealth, man. 70? Yeah, what point? You lucky she ain't fucking come back and counter. You lucky she ain't come back and say, yo, you know what? 3.2 and you got a deal. Yo, what? Skip is 73? Oh, shit. Yeah, we here, John. We here. All right, let's get back to it. Wow.
Howard on FS1 in 2018, and she's had many other hosting gigs since. Her Instagram is filled with not only reactions to some of the biggest sports news, but also glamour shots, videos where she gives advice about relationships or comments on current events. Now, Faraji says as Taylor continued to move from show to show, she had requested Faraji to continue to be her stylist. Now, the lawsuit notes that there are two other people here. There's Mark Silverman, president and COO of Fox Sports, and Eric Shanks, CEO and executive producer of Fox Sports. Damn. They could become named as the...
Let me go back to Joy for a second. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so I just spoke on Skip. I didn't spend too much time on Dixon, the VP. If I want to go back and just clean that up a little bit, then I would just say, once again, this is a powerful guy behind the scenes. He makes decisions, and that's where corporate America influence comes in, where you can make the workplace hostile or uncomfortable, right? If you sexually advance people and you put anybody in what they feel like is a compromised position, work-wise, sexuality-wise, all of that, okay? So I see why he's in this, especially if he was gripping booties or whatever at the Christmas party, which is in the suit. Joy Taylor. All right, let's speed this up a little bit, man. Joy Taylor, for anybody that hasn't watched videos like this or hasn't seen this going crazy over the internet. Okay, so for the most part, she's being accused of sleeping her way to the top. Okay. Is that a bad thing? I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? So some people's gonna say, at the end of the day, my moral compass is you gotta earn it. Your talent, your work ethic, your consistency, your schooling, the way you applied yourself, the way you networked. Um, you got certain people, man, like rappers, aspiring rappers, they done sat outside the radio station 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for DJ K Slayer or DJ Clue to get off of work just so they could hand them a mixtape, man. Earning your keep, showing your talent brick by brick. You got people whose moral compass is that, and they will never respect anything else. Then you have the other side. I just want to play devil's advocate and show both sides of it. You have the other side of it. The other side of it is when people are very, very realistic with themselves. And you ever hear the term of when somebody says, it's not what you know, it's who you know in this world. We say that all the time to the point where it's cliche. But here's the thing about cliche statements. We take cliche statements and we forget how much truth they hold and how much they apply to the world. Like saying it's not what you know, it's who you know, totally contradicts, the other side of the coin that I was just breaking down. Okay. So who you know? All right, you can say I got some talent. Here I am. I came in initially to Fox Sports or whatever she came in. And this VP over here. Yeah, after the Christmas party, me and him took it down or whatever. And I know I'm gonna have some favor with him now. I'm gonna be around for a little bit, right? I'm gonna give myself job security behind that. Stay with that term job security for a second. Oh, Acho. Oh, he's a host too, and I'm trying to get to that show over there. I happen to be attracted to or whatever, because she said that on her podcast. She said, if a woman sees a man that got the finances, is funny, or is attractive, let's keep it real, ladies, you're gone, right? So maybe she's attracted to Acho. Maybe she felt she was gonna get some finances from him, or maybe he was funny. Maybe all three. Maybe a combination. Who knows? But she allegedly went. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about that term that I just put on pause, job security, what are women taught as even kids or young girls, not women, girls coming up, right? Men are taught different than women, and that's okay. With different species, we have different different chemistry, even, right? We have different physicalities, we have different mentalities at times, right? We're different. We're different. That's why if you could find one that matches you, stay with them. Okay, on both sides. A woman as a girl is taught, find you a man that can take care of you, protect you, and give you security. That's what a lot of young girls are taught, right? Ladies, am I lying? And I'm not saying that from a using standpoint. Ladies that's in the chat, I want to hear y'all feedback on that. A girl is taught often by her parents, her uncles, the older heads around her. Find you a man that'll take good care of you, take good care of you, protect you, and provide security. Protect comes in all different forms, right? A man that's going to be the one to jump up out of bed when you hear the window break at night, right? You don't expect a woman to go, right? Take care of you, meaning that even when times is bad, he prioritizes her and says, I got you. Like he plays the king and she plays the queen, right? The king is the leader, has the most on his shoulders. He actually drives a majority of the car and steering of where we're going. I'm going to drive us to success. What do they say about a successful man? They say every successful man or every powerful man has a powerful or a good or strong woman behind him. They don't say in front. They say behind him. Okay? So women, society, your parents, your surroundings, this is what women are being taught. Does that totally translate to me being up here to justify saying, okay, that means coming to Fox Sports, fuck Acho, give Skip some play, and fuck the VP? That's not, no, I'm not saying directly correlate the three, right? But I'm saying job security has a mental connection almost to what women are being taught. And because a woman's body is damn near used or looked at like it has financial based values on it. You know what I'm saying? Like society has not put the two equal. They are supposed to be equal, right? But society has said, like, all right, dick is this, it's a dime a dozen, and pussy is platinum. You know, that's what society has done and taught people over these years. And men cultivate it. Men cultivate it. Whether you skip and you're putting out 1.5, or your little baby rapping on all your early career songs talking about, like, I'll pay for it, man. I'm fucking the game up because I'm paying too much. It's cultivated. So these women, these Ruby Roses of the world, they're actually walking around feeling like this because this is the way men are treating them. We're both to blame, men and women. We're both to blame. But I kind of feel like what Joy allegedly did is everywhere. Like, y'all just don't want to admit it or accept it. Like that pretty girl that's standing there next to Diddy or Jay or whatever, they may have did something like I never thought that what's the name from Rockefeller was that talented. Who's the female rapper that they had? Whatever. I can't even remember a fucking name on the spot. Right? I don't know. Did she get clipped? And I'm like, this is everywhere. This is everywhere. And it goes in all types of directions, B. Like this is not just Joy. This is everybody. Anil, thank you. Good look at that's Facts too in the building. Shout out to Facts. Appreciate you, G. Yeah, Nil. They saying that they got pictures of her working in the supermarket now and all that. Yeah, and that's no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, this happens everywhere. We're not gonna act oblivious. We're not gonna lie to ourselves about it. Joy just happens to be somebody that y'all are watching TV. Y'all are attracted to her, and she is talented. She does know sports, and we listening to her for all these years. And then when we hear something like this come out on her, whether it's allegedly true or not, right? We go, oh, but why? Why y'all shocked? Why y'all shocked? This is every fucking day in every fucking company and in every fucking area of where people are moving up the corporate ladder. Okay? I'm gonna get into office politics in a second. All right, give me a second. Let's continue a little bit.
Move to another show called The Herd with Colin.
You know what? I'm gonna fast track this because as y'all see, man, fuck this video. I want to talk. Let's go. Let's go to this. This is an important part of the video. Let me scan ahead to 1920. Y'all have pissed me off this morning. Let's go.
So was her job. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Faraji is filing both her own individual complaint and she is wanting to bring a class action lawsuit against Fox on behalf of, quote, all non-exempt hourly individuals who worked for Fox in California during the period commencing 4 years prior to filing of this complaint. Now, a few things I'll just mention about a class action. So this is a call to action about other people coming forward instead of them all filing individual lawsuits against Fox. If you have a bunch of plaintiffs who are basically alleging the same thing, the same kind of issues, you can combine that into one giant lawsuit, one giant class action lawsuit, and she would presumably be the representative of that group. And there's a lot of reasons why you do a class action lawsuit. One of them, it helps with efficiency. Instead of the courts dealing with multiple lawsuits and witnesses, the same kind of witnesses having to testify in so many different trials, in terms of a practical result, in terms of efficiency, it can all be done at one trial. And also it might be a strategic advantage for a settlement action as well if you have multiple plaintiffs as well. And this lawsuit says it's believed that there are more than 100 employees and former employees who would qualify after having not been paid properly for things like overtime, double shifts, and more. And on behalf of herself, for her individual complaint, this is now specific to her, maybe not the other plaintiffs here, she has filed the following causes of action. Sexual battery. So this is for the alleged actions of both Dixon and Bayless Dixon, it was for that alleged incident that happened at the birthday party. And for Bayless, it was for those lingering hugs after each haircut, where there was also allegations of him kissing her cheek too. And by the way, it's not.
Let me make sure that I add to that there, people, just for context of everybody that's still catching up on the story, because I'm catching up on a lot of it this morning too, to be honest. All right. So Dixon, once again, being the VP and having that type of influence because he's in control of content and whether you are there or not on shows, so to speak, behind the scenes, right? They're saying behind the scenes or like at a Christmas party or something like that, he done got his grope on, right? Allegedly. Okay. So he gets a suit for that because you're a powerful person. You grope me. You put me in a spot where I feel like, damn, like you can be responsible for my job or not. You can be the one that says I'm here and I'm not here and you're advancing me and I'm uncomfortable, which makes me you're putting me in a compromised position, right? Now, when we talk about Skip, there's an angle to this as well that's being discussed, I believe, in the lawsuit, and it's another reason why you see Shannon Sharpe speaking out and why he's like, yo, don't put me in none of this, okay? The reason why Shannon Sharpe's name came up is because they're saying that, all right, Skip was continuing to advance this girl. He had her as his hairstylist, so she's cutting his hair and doing his hair for like 6 years or something like that, okay? During that course of her being Skip's stylist, he's doing things like he's doing the type of excessive hugs where he's looking for the chest, the super chest massage and all that, right? I think they said there might have been a situation where he got his grope on too, allegedly, might have grabbed up on or whatever. But he definitely, I shouldn't say definitely, he allegedly propositioned her, which obviously is in the suit, offered her some money or whatever for sex. And then there was a thing with Shannon Sharpe where Skip began to allegedly mistreat this girl because he thought that she was fucking Shannon. Now, we saw the fallout publicly between Shannon and Skip. Obviously, Shannon left the show and ended up getting picked up by Stephen A. Smith, which was dope. And he turns out to reverse that whole shit and become the bigger dog with his own platform as well. And now Skip is in trouble. So it looked like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But even before Shannon left Undisputed, we saw the rift. We saw them arguing. We saw the fallout happening right in front of us. Okay. And now she's alleging that there was behind the scenes angle to that as well, involving a fucking woman. What do they say? They say there's a lot of women at the root of these fucking problems, right? So here goes Skip allegedly feeling jealous towards his hairstylist that he's been trying to take down all these years, right? He says things to her like if you don't comply with what I'm saying, or if you ain't on the same page as me, allegedly, and I am paraphrasing, then it could affect you, or you may be in trouble, right? Basically implying like, if you don't fuck with me and you don't get on the page with me and you don't go by what I'm saying, you don't fuck around and lose your job. Because if I say that you're not my hairstylist anymore, that's going to impact you here, right? Allegedly. That's what's all being said, okay? And the rift between Shannon and Skip also has a connection to this girl. Skip wants to take her down. Skip believes that she slept with Shannon. Hold on, you over there, but you won't even take my 1.5. Like, so that's a connection there. Now, let's get into something heavy as we summarize some of the individual people from this post of my biggest problems. Okay, let's bring up some of my biggest problems. This is from the Shade Room. This is their Instagram post. Shout out to the Shade Room. Fox releases statement amid jaw-dropping lawsuit accusing Fox Sports employees of sexual misconduct, retaliation, and more. We get it. We take these. So this is Fox's response to the lawsuit. We take these allegations seriously and will allow the legal process to run its course. We have no further comment at this time. You shouldn't have a further comment at this time, but addressing it publicly with that type of response is kind of expected, right? And I think that it's a good response from a corporate America standpoint, from an industry standpoint, from a fan standpoint, because you could literally have fans and women, and I don't even have to say feminists, like just a person, period, that sees something like this and feels like, oh, I'm not supporting your company or your platform right now because I feel a way towards Skip situation, Acho situation, or Joy situation, or the VP Dixon situation, or Fox as a whole that now has this class action lawsuit claiming that they also aided, retaliated, and allowed a toxic environment. Okay, so there's people, they got to put out a public statement like this, right? It's a little damage control-y, but I still think it's a good statement. My biggest issue, hold on, I'll skip that. Skip Bayless is accused of offering former stylist 1.5 million for sexual. All right. Acho and Dixon are accused of having sexual relationships with Taylor and rewarding her with promotions because of it. Dixon is additionally accused of groping a former stylist. Okay. So before I go to the biggest one, let me just wrap up this in summary. Like I said before, I'm of the opinion, it's not really opinion, yo, it's reality, that this shit is so fucking rampant. Now, let me speak about Acho. How much help could Acho have provided her? He could have been an influence saying, I want her here on this show with me, right? And it could be because he thought she was talented. It could be because he was attracted to her. Because it could be because he was scheming, or maybe he was already hitting, or a combination of all. Who the fuck knows, right? You never know. But Acho, being in a spot like that, where people are accusing you of advancing people's career and giving favor based on sexual um favors, right? It brings him out. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for him as well. But I feel like that is a part of the world that is rampant, and we just don't want to accept it. And if I'm gonna apply that to Acho, I gotta apply the same thing to Dixon. Now, Dixon, Dixon looks in this suit and the information that we have so far worse than Acho. Here's why. Not because they're both in positions of power where they can help advance joy for sexual favors. Not because of that, but because he's being painted as, I guess, a violator. He's being painted as the guy that's at the Christmas party and then his hand starts at the small of your back and then it glides down. Next thing you know, he's gripping your ass. That's how he is being painted. Acho's damn near being painted as like, yo, Joy wanted it too. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yeah, hey, we both like each other. There's video of them hanging around. And that's another thing about being at the workplace. If you're attracted to somebody and they're attracted to you, people, it could just be a matter of time. Let's be honest. Because in the workplace, you see people on a daily fucking basis, B. Well, Monday through Friday, at least, bare minimum. You end up spending more time with your work colleagues hour for hour than sometimes, especially if you don't live with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your fiance, you end up seeing your work colleagues more than you see your own children hour for hour, Monday through Friday, or maybe even when you add up the hours, Monday through Sunday as well. Like every day. And you start to develop chemistries. You work together, you laugh together, you have these company outings together and all this type of shit. I know people that done met and got married or fucked from work. I know people like it's common. Like actually, there will be HR courses to teach you how to navigate company or I should say office relationships if you have them. Because I don't think that a company can tell, it's like frowned upon, right? It's like that little thing where, especially at a managerial and up level, they'll say, yo, we don't want you to have any relationships with any people because from managerial and up, it's a different effect. There's that power that's involved. And then it's also battle on the company. This is a person that has more rank. It's not like somebody that's on the ground, like just a general employee. All right. So I'm not saying that you'll sign something that says you can't sleep with somebody in the office, but it's frowned upon, especially at the managerial level and up. But if you take some of them HR courses, like this is a good one, Karma Love, conflict of interest. Absolutely. If you take some of those HR courses, you know what they'll tell you? They'll try to give you advice on how to navigate it if it happens. If it happens. You know what I'm saying? So if you're fucking somebody in the office, you're not supposed to be flirting at the fucking cooler, in the kitchen, or in the break room. You're not supposed to be kissing in the hallway on the low, and then somebody could walk by. And no, you're supposed to act like nothing is going on, but everybody knows it is, and everybody remains professional. They even will teach you how to navigate that in these HR courses. You know what I'm saying? So this situation is that situation. We already went over Skip. This is the big horn right here, people. This is the big shit for me. This is the biggest for me. Let's go big screen for her. This is disgusting. Lawsuit alleges Taylor leveraged sex to advance her career and allegedly threatened to accuse network executive of sexual assault when he was no longer useful to her, Additionally, she's accused of dismissing sexual harassment claims made by former stylists, telling her to get over it. Ladies, that's the one that you have a big problem with. Fellas, that's the one that you have a big problem with. Allegedly, if it's true, right? Let's backtrack over that. So what Faraji is claiming is, here comes Joy. She's coming in around ground level-ish. Looks good, got some talent though, and ends up sleeping with the VP. The VP is around Joy, and the hairstylist Faraji is around them, and she's getting the vibes like, oh, they fucking, right? Joy Taylor allegedly is married at the time as well, right? And when the stylist Faraji gets the vibe and sees that Joy is fucking both Acho and the VP Dixon, she even says something to her casually, woman to woman. Yo, I don't think you should be doing that. You can get in trouble. And what does Joy Taylor say to her in response? First of all, don't worry about that. It's all good. And number two, if I get to a point where I don't need this guy anymore, I have this trump card that I could pull, allegedly, which is saying that he R'd me. That's insane. That right there is where, see, if you paid attention to the way I've been detailing and breaking all this down for this whole live, there's some devil's advocate to be played, because I understand the corporate America and the work office, and I also understand human nature. I do understand where some of this shit is becoming more accessible, more accepted, and we have to keep the same energy across cultures and across people that we see this with. And if you don't believe that this has happened in a dime a dozen, then you're naive and you're disconnected and you're out the loop, and it's probably right there in front of you and you can't read the matrix. So I'm playing devil's advocate, and I'm playing a little neutral on a lot of this stuff. I even joked about Skip throwing up the 1.5. I turned it into a joke. All right. I gave some of y'all guys the comparison of like, yo, if you're a multi-millionaire, you making this type of money yearly as a salary, and somebody said, yo, let me hold on $1 million of that. And here goes Beyonce and Rihanna. That $1 million ain't nothing. You're gonna say, fuck it. Beyonce, let's go. Let's walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm justifying certain things on both sides, to be real. But to say that, yo, man, I feel like this isn't a good thing that you're doing, Joy. And she's like, brushes her off, and then allegedly tells her, the moment I don't need this VP, or if anything stirs up behind that's not in my preference, I'm going to the big Joker card. And I'm going to say that he R'd me. That's the biggest part of this whole thing to me. Well, I shouldn't say the biggest part of it, but the most disgusting part of this whole thing to me. We're hearing Skip's name, we're hearing Shannon's name, we're hearing the VP, we're hearing other CEOs and owners involved. We're hearing Joy, we're hearing Acha, we're hearing all these people involved. The most disgusting piece of the whole shit to me is hearing that as she's allegedly moving up her ladder and playing on her chessboard, both talent-wise and sexually, right? She's willing to pull a card out on the table against somebody else that she possibly allowed into her space prior, to reverse Uno her shit when need be and say R. And that, ladies, therein lies why the Cassies of the world was getting backlash, or was not getting believed, or was getting shitted on when the allegations first came out. Therein lies the problem. This is why when you see Slim Thug put up his video and he says things like, maybe I don't know about that, and people are just like, oh, you over there with some new guy, right? You ain't next to Diddy no more. That money done ran out. You was living a lavish life next to him, right? Music, you're a musician, Cassie. What music? You ain't even talented. Your voice is horrible. You just got the look. Did we know why Diddy signed your ass? Like, we ain't saying it, but we know. The people sitting at the signing table at the record label knew when Diddy walked up in there and said, hey, man, first of all, I'm Diddy, so everybody get in line. I got this new great vocalist that we're going to sign. And everybody goes, oh, that's nice to meet you. And in the back of their mind, they know he's fucking up. Come on, Cassie wasn't even talented. And this is the thing. It's right in front of our face, and then we ignore it. And then if somebody got to either cry truth or cry wolf, it's going to fall all over the place, because women are willing to do this. Allegedly, they're willing to just come out and say an accusation like this, which is deemed a trump card. As allegedly, Joy is just navigating her corporate America ladder to the top. That's the most disgusting piece of this whole thing. Ladies in the chat, ladies that watch the stream, you can never support that. If that is true or close to true or has some truth within the context, you could never support Joy again. Fellas and ladies, that I don't be wishing for people's downfalls or lose their ability to support their livelihood. I'm not really that type of person. Some people deserve it, but I'm not really that type of person in general. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of shit where if I cut on the TV and I see that the host that's talking about last night's game happens to be a woman that is confirmed that she was willing to just call R on a man that she gave the ass to navigate her career, I can't watch that show anymore. It's like the Seinfeld effect shit for me. Like, what's the who's the comedian, the red flat top ramp redhead guy, whatever. Fuck his name and fuck him. But when that clip of him came out on stage and he went on his nigga rant and all that, fuck that show. Like even if somebody's in my crib and they got that show on, I'm walking in. I'm like, in this house, like I can't. It's just certain things which I can never. I need the name. Thank you once again, Facts Kramer. Thank you, John Perkins. Kramer. Fuck him forever. Fuck Kramer forever. And I hope, I know the Seinfeld show is massive. It's massive, right? So my little opinion or losing a couple people by continuing to back that piece of shit probably don't hurt the network or hurt the show enough. They say people only move for money and violence, right? That's the only thing that you affect somebody's pockets. You're going to see them complaining. You're going to see them move. You're going to see them make changes. Once somebody's pockets are touched, right? And people like me, if I'm in that bag, so be it. Because if that got confirmed for Joy and I cut that Fox Sports show on and she's up there hosting, knowing that that's what she did, I'm turned off. I just can't even look at somebody that I know. I just like, it feels like, I'm cool. And people wonder why I get in certain bags on these lives is because I know so much. It's like ill. And I know y'all look at them like, oh no, this is a Mount Rushmore. My ass is a piece of shit human being. It's a piece of shit human being. And I'm starting to get fucking frustrated right now here in a moment. So I'm gonna calm the fuck down. Cause y'all know when I get like that, I start that's where the clips come out. I'm a chill. But all in all, that's the backdrop of the story, people. That's how I feel about thus far what I know about Skip's allegations, what I feel about what I know so far about Acho's allegations and Joy's allegations, right? As well as Dixon, the VP. So it's an interesting story because the sports world is being rocked by it. Some of y'all that may not follow the sports world that heavy, this is big news in the sports world. This is a big deal. And it's got legs. And so it could sprawl further. You see the class action lawsuit within itself allows other people to come forward and say, yeah, I was in that same toxicity. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This isn't one of those where immediately it feels like the girl Faraji is just another person that's out here looking for a bag. You get that vibe sometimes in your stomach, like with the Diddy accusers and shit. Some of them come forward, and even though Diddy might be a piece of shit and a lot of things that he's done, some of these people coming forward and it's our gut instinct, like, money grab. Faraji don't feel. My first gut vibe is, I think Faraji is right. Like just reading over it and seeing, then you start to piece things together. It's just like, this feels valid, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll continue to follow it. All right, let me get up out of here before anything happens. Y'all enjoy y'all day.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members.
Red breed.